Got an itinerary mapped out for Europe?
Yes, we do. So it's going to be a lot of good things, a lot of fun things. Have 2 games in there, but mostly just team bonding and experiencing the culture. So there'll be a ton of different things, from a bike tour to a pizza making class to a couple of boat trips and island hopping. So it's going to be a good time.
What are you taking away from the couple of practices you've had now? Like, what's important for you guys at this time?
You know, having those 10 extra practices, we've used like 1 a week so far, and it's just been really nice to be able to get a lot in. We've also played more and up and down and scrimmage more than this summer than I ever have as a head coach. Just with the veteran team and trying to, I know we have to play, so I want to make sure we're in somewhat. We're never going to be in game shape like we'll be in the season, but at least getting up and down, and that's been really, really beneficial to us and for me too, to just see different lineups, see how competitive we are. I'll say one thing: the depth that we have on the team this year is we haven't had it. So I put anyone together and mix up the lineups, and it's almost always a really tight game. Like, they're going at each other, they're making each other better. And it's been really fun to watch and to coach them this summer.
I know we talked about the depth last time we talked to you, and you said you've got to kind of adjust to having that. So what's that process for you and your coaches look like? I know it's not the season yet, but how do you kind of knock that out?
And I think that's where having these practices and having a little bit more time on the floor where we can scrimmage and play, I'm able to put different people together and different lineups together, and really just get to see, who can do what and put people in different positions. Like someone like a Barry who's a freshman, I have her playing some wing and then I have her playing some 4. So, and she's picked that up really quickly. So, some of those kids that flex to, KB, Bryn, I have Bryn playing some 5 this year. She's going to have to play some 5 and not just 4. So it's been nice to have those opportunities to see different lineups, different combinations, and then people being able to flex to different positions.
Having Jasmine in here, what's that been kind of like? And have you learned some things about her that you didn't, kind of know about before she kind of came here?
Yeah, Jasmine, the last about week and a half, 2 weeks, she's really, I told her, it's like the Jazz I've watched for how many years. So when she first came in, it's a lot for anyone new. So learning defense, learning the system, learning expectations. So I thought the last 2 weeks have been her best, and she's kind of getting that pop back of being really aggressive as a scorer. Her 3-point shot actually is much better now than it was as a high school player. So she really worked on that last year at Mississippi State, and her it looks really, really good. But I love her defense, and I'm really challenging her defensively, and she just continues to take it all in. She's so coachable. She's gonna be really, really important to us.
Is that maybe the biggest thing of adjustment defensively? What you kind of emphasize maybe for a player when they're kind of coming in the first year?
I think the defense is always the biggest learning curve, whether it's a transfer, whether it's a freshman, sometimes even a transfer like a 5th year last year, where you've been in the system 4 years. Luckily, our transfers have only been in the system 1 year, so they don't really have something totally ingrained in them. But it's all different, and what we teach and our philosophy and our principles are different than where they're used to, or even high school to now. And then I also think just the intensity of expectation of every play, defending at a high level, that's the biggest thing from freshman to college. You can get away with a lot of things in high school. You can't do that now. And just challenging them to bring it defensively.
You see some of your players out and about, it's clear there's more height on this roster. How does that impact scheme or what you want to do? Does that change things or enable you to do things more than you have been in the past, if that makes sense?
Yeah, our size, we have 6'6" and 6'7", so that's like a whole nother level. But with that, we got to get them to where they can play as fast as what we normally want to play, where when we have someone like a KB playing the 5, obviously she can move and she can play for 40 minutes. So we'll get those, our true 5s, we'll get them in condition where they can hopefully play longer, but right now it'll probably be shorter spurts. But I want them to be able to play really, really hard and be able to play at the pace we want to offensively. And again, it comes back to defense, being able to sustain intensity level defensively. And I'm trying to really, with both of Haven and Letty, just trying them, the physicality of it all, trying to get them to be a little bit more physical, to utilize their size more. They continue to make strides every day. It's still only July, so I love how far they've come in a short time, but I think that's where you have true bigs like 6'6", 6'7". It's the pace. Can we still play at that same pace that we want to play at?
I know it's only July, but do you envision a little bit of post by committee there to be able to kind of bring in fresh legs constantly in the post?
Yeah, I think that, even like last year at this time, like we didn't know what it would look like, right, with Hobby and KB, and it took, Hobby again some time to understand our system, and then it worked perfectly towards the end. So I think early on, you'll see KB, playing obviously some 4, some 5. You'll see Bryn playing some 4, some 5. And then we can bring in one of those true 5 players, how many minutes can they play? That's going to determine a lot of those rotations. But I see all of them, hopefully, we need them all to make an impact. We need them all to be ready to play.
Being able to go into the portal and add players from other high major programs, what does that say about just how far the program has come in your time here?
I think we want to continue to make Illinois basketball one of the premier programs in the country, right? And I think we've done that in 2 years where now we're in the mix, or we've landed some of the the top recruits. Obviously you look at our transfers and you look at our freshmen with Barry Wallace coming in. She could have went anywhere. Letty was highly recruited. Jasmine, highly recruited. Those are players that we got them to come here because of relationships, because of, I think, being able to win and show that we're on the right track. We just want to keep pushing that forward. So now we can continue to bring in, high-level players that fit what we do, and then also be able to bring in high-level transfers. Transfers are, they're just such a critical piece to it. You see even on the men's side, them being able to bring in those high-level transfers. Well, now they're attracted because of the program and the success they've had. The more success you have, the more able you're going to be able to attract some of those high-level players and transfers.
What kind of development have you seen from Letty, and what's that activation process look like?
She's come along. I think we're in week 5 right now, and she's come a long ways. Just getting number 1 conditioning, right? That's always the big thing for bigs. So she's made some really great strides with that, and that's number 1, because you can't play if you're not in condition. So really proud of her for that growth. And then just every day she gets better. She's really coachable. She listens, and then she applies, and she's working hard. If you do that, good things are going to continue to happen. And she's able, again, defensively, we got to keep bringing her along so where she can be a little bit more physical, understand how we cover ball screens and all that. That'll come. And then, offensively, she just has such great hands, like great hands for a big. She finishes really well around the rim, and we got to get her the ball down there, because her hands are great.
With Jasmine, someone you recruited at Dayton, you referenced relationships earlier, but how do you kind of keep those relationships alive to where if someone's back in the portal again, you can kind of rekindle things and you're not almost starting from scratch?
Yeah, I think we've done, I've said this a lot, I think we've done in my time as a head coach, we've done a really good job of getting transfers the second time. I don't know if that means I'm a bad recruiter the first time or good the second, I don't know, but we've been able to get kids the second time around, and they've all had success here. So number 1, you never burn bridges. When there's real true relationships, yeah, it's disappointing when someone tells you no, but you have to understand that that's what they thought was best. And then obviously through that relationship that you built, usually it was a really hard decision. On the kids we lost, it was like, it's a really hard decision, but at Dayton it was they wanted to go Power 5, and here it's just been like maybe they didn't, like when we recruited Jasmine here, it was our first year, we hadn't won it all, we hadn't done anything. So then she saw maybe, okay, they can do it, I can do it in my home state. I just think it's all about those relationships, staying true to them, and then, just when they tell you no, don't be a jerk and get mad at them. Like, sure. It's their decision, and a lot of times when they decide to go in that portal, they call us, and it's worked out for us. And I think just the success that our transfers have had has been really key for us.
What would you say are the strengths and weaknesses between these 2 transfers?
Yeah, both of them, obviously, they're different. Jasmine and Letty are totally different players. So they bring in different skill sets. it's just the learning, again, the learning curve of learning new stuff. But Jazz, I've challenged her the last couple of days defensively. I think she can be one of the best defenders on the team. Like, she's that capable of doing that. I know she's going to score. I know that's going to come, but I want her to be able to take on, hey, I'm going to come and I'm going to lock up the best player of the other team, because it can't just be Dell, it can't just be Makira. We need something, and Jazz has that ability. And then Letty just is going to take, it's a process. It's a process of again, conditioning, getting her to understand defense. The offense is going to be the easy part for Letty. So, and getting them really comfortable in what we do in the system on both ends of the floor of our expectations.
Obligatory recruiting question. I know you wanted earlier 25 kids. You talked about that. You're in on some very high level players. Like, how's that going? And how have you kind of adjusted to maybe not having that early jump on?
Yeah.
Still in the mix there.
You know, the higher level kid that you're in the mix on, obviously the more stressful, number one. And number two, they're going to probably wait because they're going to go on visits. I mean, even one of our top recruits in 25 just picked up a couple new offers from some pretty big time schools. And now they may go and take a couple more visits. That's part of the process. They're going to go check those out. Now, especially, you can have unlimited official visits. So these kids could go on 10, 15 official visits if they wanted to. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. And you just have to really trust the work that you've put in. You know, on every kid in the 25 class that we have been there the longest, and we've been there from the beginning. And you gotta trust those relationships. You gotta trust the work. And then, you know, if it's meant to be and they really are true to what they want, then, you know, hopefully we can get a couple of them. And then we also have to have that next, you know, you have your top kids, and you got to have that next level ready to go too. Because the as you guys know, the higher and higher ranked and the better player, the harder it is to get them.
Of your upperclassmen vets like Makira, Jen, KB, I imagine the improvements needed are more fine-tuning in their game. Have you seen that in 5 weeks in?
You know, they're all at a high level right now, and that's good to see. You know, Makira obviously had some, you know, in and out and some injuries, and last summer wasn't able to have a full summer. This is her first full summer in college because of, you know, she's been healthy. If we can stay healthy, those guys look really, really good. I love where they're at. They're really sharp. They're almost mid-season. They didn't really skip a beat at all. Mm-hmm. And that has helped us so much. And it's also helped us bring along our younger kids. Now they see, okay, this is what it looks like. I mean, they know our system so well. They know all the breakdown, all the fundamentals, so they look really, really sharp. And it's a great learning tool for our younger guys to be able to see, hey, that's what it looks like. That's how hard you have to go. That's how hard you have to defend. That's what you got to do in communication. They've just been great. I could not be more pleased with where our upperclassmen are and how they've grown in even leadership. I think Adalia, her leadership this summer has been off the charts, and that's something we've talked about for 2 years of her communicating and talking, and now you can tell she's like, okay, like, this is my team, you know, and all those guys, it's our team, it's my team, like, no regrets.
You've talked about Jazz and Letty's strengths, but how do they fill holes, or what are they contributing to your goals this coming season?
I mean, we needed more depth in the wing spot, in the guard spot, and Jazz, I have her playing some point guard too, you know, so Jazz could play 1 through 3. I have her playing right now. She probably could play 1 through 4 because if we go 4 out. So she added that depth to the wing. Her ability to score and her ability to defend is something that really filled a need of ours that we, you know, had to have in the guard spot. And then Letty obviously fills the size piece. You know, losing Hobby, we needed another 5, and you needed someone that hopefully had a little bit of experience. Well, Haven's a true freshman. It's a true freshman. It's hard. There's a lot of big learning curve. At least Letty's been in college basketball for a year. Didn't play a ton, but she understands what it's about, what it looks like, and you know, so that's where we address that need and some weaknesses that we had, what we addressed with the transfers.
You mentioned her a few times.
Yeah.
Like, how have you seen her last season? Maybe didn't go the way she had hoped, and now taking on the 5. Like, how have you seen her kind of take all of that in stride?
I've said this. I think I said it early on, and she's playing great right now, and she just has this like freedom to her. She has this confidence about her. She's feeling healthy. I think she just is really looking forward to her senior year, and I don't think she wants any regrets. And we keep talking about that with our seniors to, you know, just go really enjoy this and have fun and no regrets, leave it all out there. Bryn's in a really good place. She's playing really, really well. She's shooting at a high level. She's one of the best screeners, her and KB, best screeners we have on the team. She just knows where to be. You know, she's been in our system now 4 years or 3 years. So I'm super excited about Bryn. She's in really good shape right now. I really think she's going to have a great year. And we just, again, got to stay healthy. But she's doing a lot of really great things.
How would you kind of describe the practice setting, you know, and just, you kind of referenced it earlier, just the competitiveness with a core group coming back and then some talented high-level players coming in too as well?
It's been fun because, like I said, it's the most we've gotten into practice, and we've gotten into our defense. So I think we're, you know, way further ahead than the first summer. And then last summer, we progressed a little bit further and quicker. But this year, I think we're able to progress a lot. You have either we're really old or then we're really young. Like, there's no in between with this group. But the competitiveness it's just fun. Like, these guys, there's been a couple times where you're like, oh, we got to like, break it up. They're talking, you know, back and forth, and you got certain matchups. But on all my great teams, all my championship teams, that's what you have. There's going to be almost where you're like, okay, settle. You want to tell them settle down, but it's the competitiveness, and I'm going at you, and I want to beat you right now. You know, even though we're on the same team, when we walk off, we're good. But I think that we're able to really push each other, and it's everyone. It's 1 through 12 right now. So there's no really, you know, weaknesses there. Like, every matchup's a really good matchup. So that competitiveness is able to really make each other better. And that's what we haven't had the last couple of years.